Okay. All right, good evening, everyone. I now call to order the Thursday, April 22nd, 2021 meeting of the City of Sugar Land Planning and Zoning Commission. Good evening and welcome to everyone present. Having called the meeting to order, we'll move on to Section 3A, public comment. Citizens who desire to address the Commission with regard to matters on the agenda will be read and or received at this time. Do we have any members of the public that are wishing to make comments regarding agenda items?
We do not.
All right, then we'll close the public comment and we will move on to item 3. Well, it says 3A. I'm going to call it 3B, which is consideration and action of the minutes of the April 13, 2021 meeting. Commissioners, you've received those minutes in your packets. I'll ask you to take a look at those and let me know if you have any changes or comments. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve by Commissioner Brown. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, second by Commissioner Hart. Any further discussion? If not, if you'll please vote at this time.
Come on.
Matt, count me voting in the affirmative.
Well, Taylor, and as I flagged earlier, I see the Novus agenda. I see my agenda, but I didn't get the voting tab. I also vote aye on that motion. Any noes? All right, then that will carry unanimously among the members present. Moving on to item 4A. Consideration of an action on a recommendation for a proposed change in zoning from the interim standard single-family residential R1I to standard single-family residential R1 and zero lot line single-family residential R1Z for property in the New Territory community located west of the Telfair development, south of US 98, east of Alcorn Bayou, and north of the Brazos River to the mayor and members of City Council. Laura, I believe this is your item, so take it away.
Yes. So this is a Vicinity Map. As this was just last week, you're probably still very familiar with it. The New Territory community was annexed in 2017 and upon annexation was zoned interim R1, which is the standard residential interim zone. Staff did go through and analyze each of the plats, deeds, and some different right-of-way dedications to analyze and make sure which of our residential districts would be most appropriate to assign to it. Next slide. During that process, staff did identify 2 subdivisions, Sunset Cove as well as Stonehaven, that are platted or have deed restrictions that denote them as zero lot line. So they are proposed to be R1Z. All of the other residential areas are to be zoned R1, standard single family residential. Next slide. So this is the proposed zoning map. The 2 blue areas are the 2 neighborhoods that are zero lot line, and everything that you see highlighted here in yellow is the proposed permanent R1 standard single family residential. Next slide. The future land use map does identify this as suburban neighborhood, which does align with both the R1 and R1Z zoning districts. Next slide. So a recap of the meeting last week, there were no speakers. Notifications were sent out. We did quite a bit of hands-on notification. Postcards were sent to owners and HOA. Webpage was created specifically for this rezoning with FAQs and more detailed information. We also sent those out to the HOA itself as well to disseminate amongst their homeowners as they saw fit. And the publication was also put in the newspaper. We didn't really get any general inquiries. We did receive a couple, but they were unrelated to the zoning itself. And commission saw no issues. So we were moving forward with consideration and action this evening. Next slide. So this is, again, a copy of that postcard. It does show that both the public hearing last week as well as the city council meeting is advertised for May 4th. So we were able to economically send this out to everybody to advertise for both meetings. Next slide. So your points for consideration, permanent zoning is required by state statute and is the last step in annexation. These proposed zoning districts do match the platted and built environment as well as the HOA deed restrictions. And it does match up with the suburban neighborhood category of the future land use map within the comprehensive plan. Next slide. Therefore, staff does recommend that commission approve the recommendation to mayor and city council for approval of the permanent zoning. Happy to answer any questions again, or y'all can move forward at this time. You're muted.
I'm working on it. Mouth is faster than the finger. Thanks very much, Laura. So as commissioners, as you'll remember, we did, as Laura said, we discussed this last time and did not have any questions or recommendations. So just for the record, I'll run through those present quickly and see if we have anything else. Commissioner Hart, anything from you?
No, thank you, staff.
Commissioner Brown?
Nope, thank you, staff. Good job.
Commissioner Landine?
Good.
All right. AP?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, I'm good as well, and I will just again kind of point out for the record that we had a discussion last time of the number of households involved, the methods of communication that the city of Sugarland used to communicate the proposed zoning changes to the individual residents, to the HOA, the use of the internet sites and all that. And we had no one that commented on the proposed measures. We had no one that appeared for public comment at the meeting, and commissioners were all very satisfied and complimentary of staff's efforts. So I don't think we have any other discussion items on this. So given that, I will ask you to vote on, do I have a motion to, let me get a motion to approve the motion. Let me get a motion. How about that? And I'll stop.
I'll motion to approve.
Okay. So Commissioner, motion by Commissioner Hart, and that'll be to approve the proposed, or to recommend, let's do it like this. So that will be a motion to recommend to the mayor and members of city council approval in a proposed change in zoning from interim standard single-family residential R1I to standard single-family residential R1 and zero lot line single-family residential R1Z for property in the New Territory community located west of the Telfair development, south of US 90A, east of Alcorn Bay, and north of the Brazos River. And do I have a second? All right, we've got a motion to approve by Commissioner Hart and a second by Commissioner Brown. Any other discussion? All right, if not, let's vote at this time, please.
Again, show me voting in the affirmative.
Very good, and that passes unanimously among the members that are present. Thanks very much. Again, Laura, thank you. Thanks to staff for the great work on this, and thank you, commissioners, for your consideration and recommendation. Item 5A, reports, Planning and Zoning Commission Liaison Report from the April 20, 2021 City Council meeting. That is Commissioner K9, and he was kind enough to submit a written report, which I will read briefly at this time. Commissioner K9 was the liaison for that meeting and noted there were two wonderful recognitions, starting with former Mayor Lee Dugan, who served as City of Sugarland Mayor from 1987 to 1996. His family was in attendance of the recognition. It was noted that one of his finest achievements was the acquisition of Hull Airport. The second recognition was to honor and recognize the 2020 Serve Sugarland Volunteers of the Year. Jay also said that the pertinent to P&Z, that the notable agenda item included approval of the 25-year lease through 2045 between the City of Sugarland, Sugarland Baseball LLC, the Sugarland Astros LLC, and joined by the Houston Astros LLC that finalizes our agreement with the Astros organization. And he said there were no other items that he thought were pertinent to the Planning and Zoning Commission. So that is that report. And we'll move on to item 5B, City Staff Report. Doug, what do you got?
Thank you, sir. We just have, projecting ahead, your next meeting will be May 11th. We're still looking at the agenda as far as items, so that's everything we have. And we appreciate y'all tonight, our 5 key members for the quorum.
Let it be noted for the record that this is now the A team. No, I'm just kidding. With all due respect to our fine colleagues who are now present. That'll be it. I do want to say one thing. It's a little off topic for these meetings, but since I have the floor and since we're good on time, I want to point out. So I was fortunate enough to be able to get both of my COVID vaccines in the last month. I got my first one at Smart Financial Center, and I got the second one at the Fort Bend Fairgrounds. And, I don't know if this is appropriate or not. It's certainly outside our scope, but I wanted to compliment all of the staff at both of those locations for their very, very efficient and professional service. It was really great to be able to do that at home in the city of Sugar Land. And I was really, really happy and moved and honored to be a part of that process that moved very swiftly and efficiently and with a really good attention to detail and a really, really high quality of care. So my compliments to everyone that's involved in those efforts. I was personally really grateful for the opportunity, and it's another testament to why I think Sugar Land is a great place to live. So having said that, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Commissioner Brown. And may I see a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Parikh. We'll visually vote at this time. I assume we'll have a unanimous vote, which we do. I'll thank everyone. Thank you, Dan. We've got that one will actually go on the record barely as being, let's call it 5.5 out of 6. So your timing is perfect.
You're on mute, Dan. Yeah.
My apologies.
That's all right. We covered our business. We'll consider whether we're going to add you to the A team or not, but that'll
Okay.
let you know next.
I deserve that.
We are adjourned formally. So Dan, your timing is good. Thanks to everyone for your hard work and for your presence tonight. And